Yes, I know. Tune in Tuesday with Ali. Thanks ever so much. Morning. I think we are up and live, so I am just checking before I do anything. Before I start, I'm just checking to see what's going on. Where are we? Oh, blimey. All my thingies have all moved around and I'm lost. Right, I'm not coming up on the timelines, so that's why. I'm on somebody else's timeline and not my own. Getting there. Yeah, we are. We're there. And I'm just going to leave it there in case anybody comes and comments and it's not coming up there. So, good morning all. Welcome to your Tune In Tuesday with me, Ali Brown of Ali's Therapy Academy. But you know that already because you're in this fully booked therapists group, live or watching on replay. So, what am I talking about today? Online booking platforms. I had a meeting with a therapist yesterday, and she was chatting and asking me about booking platforms. Was there any that I'd recommend for her to use? And I have my own preference, and one that I had used for 3 years, and one that I've had to give up at the start of this year. I'm going to go through names and recommendations in a bit. What I want to first talk about is about online booking platforms. As I said in the description, do you use one? What do you recommend? The advantages, the disadvantages, the uses. So online booking platforms are great, especially if you want to allow people to book online. So they haven't got to email you, they haven't got to text you, they can just go onto your booking link, book the appointment, and it comes through. That's great if you run your business on set hours. That is no good for me because I have 3 different businesses and 3 different, I do different things every day. I don't have a set routine on what I'm working. So the last thing I would want, and I'm sorry to any of my clients, but the last thing I would want is to sit here in the office this morning and working, and then suddenly to get pinged through that somebody's booked to have a treatment this afternoon. I wouldn't want to do that. So that doesn't work for me. But if you've got a salon, if you've got therapy room, if you've got set times, online booking platform with the availability for people to book their appointments online without having to contact you, brilliant. I did still have and pay for a online booking platform because of its uses. I ran 3 businesses from it. I held appointments from 3 businesses from it. I could add the businesses, I could remove the businesses. It was originally set up for me, and then I learned how to use it and then used it in my own way. What I liked about it was it sent out appointment reminders automatically, so that was great. 48 hours before the appointment, an appointment reminder was set out. I could share the link for it to be booked online, to share that online platform, but it took deposits, it took online payment on credit card payments. It did marketing things. It didn't actually, the platform I was using didn't promote my business, but it had marketing tips, different ways you could use it. So you could use texts for other different things, which you paid on extra. But on automatic appointment renewals came through as standard as package, but you could add extras to it. But it was a great calendar. It told you your stats, so that you knew when a client hadn't visited, you knew when the last time you saw a client, you knew if they hadn't been for so long, you knew the ones with telephone numbers, you knew the ones without telephone numbers, all the details that were missing. They had it all, it's all stats, all categorized, and you could find them really, really easily. You could also sort out if you were patch testing and whatever, which I don't do. And these are a lot of these platforms do provide these different things, which is really, really good for when you're working in that way. Advantages for it, as I said, booking online, appointment reminders, having everything in one place. The one I used also did like an accounts, so that you could send your accountant the link to get all the information that was there, that they could take to do your accounts at the end of the year, or it was handy for you if you did your own self-assessment. So there's all different things that came with my booking platform that I used. There are other ones about that do more than that. There's other ones that are about that do less than that. You can pay monthly, you can pay for the full year, you can pay for different add-ons, and there's also those that are free. Now, like I said, there was a link, as a booking link that I could put on my website and wherever, that I could share my online booking platform. But it was still worth it for me not to have that and just to be in control, because that's what I like with bookings. I like to be in control of when I do them, who books them, and what time, whatever, where it slots into. This booking platform again had the availability that you could set up times before and afterwards, so that you gave yourself time in between appointments, so that they weren't close together. You could have that set up time and that clearing up time at the end. You could add on to those treatments, so the treatments may be an hour, but you had that allotted time in there on your calendar. But I like control. I do like to control my business now, instead of not my business controlling me. So I like to have that contact with a client. I like to be able to find out a bit about them before I book them in, whether it's a client for my therapy business, whether it's a student for training, or whether it's a therapist for Ali's Therapy Academy. So there's that initial connection, initial find out of times, and I can look at my diary to see when, what's available, and do I fancy doing a full body massage 6 o'clock in the evening? What's my day looking like? If it's an office day, then yeah, I'll quite happily do it. But different things like that. It's the same. I've also paid for just a calendar, which was TidyCal. Again, that came out on a launch. I got that at a launch price and paid for full, so I've got it permanently, and it's great. But I only share the links now and again, because again, I can't set times, so I've got it set for different calendars for mentoring for therapists, for done for you for therapists. I've got set different times, different prices that people can book up for. But again, it's not one that I put out there to share, because I set that calendar up for somebody who wants to book, and they say, oh, can I book you for a mentoring session? And I go, yeah, here's the link, and I can set up and go through there with the availability, what's there. So that's what I've done with TidyCal. But with these online booking platforms, let's start naming names. So do please share the ones that you use and why you recommend them. Whether they're free or whether they're paid for. So the one that I've used and I recommend, and I've used for the last 3 years, and said I had to give up the start of this year, was Slick, S-L-I-C-K. Very happy with Slick, and I was sharing this with a therapist yesterday for what they got and what they offer as part of their package. It's run by the UK, it's supported by the UK. There are people in the UK that either answer and if you're stuck with anything there and then, or they'll come back to you. But it's all UK led, which is fantastic, and that's another thing that I liked about it. It was launched by a hairdresser who knew about the needs of a therapist and a salon clinic owner. So she's put all these things in place, but this can be for the self-employed, this can be used for a salon or clinic owner, it can be used for a beautician, a hairdresser, or a complementary therapist. So it's open and available for all of that. And I came in the launch price of £5 a month. So that was everything I could use, with automatic payments and everything. Now they've I think now it's about £30 a month now, and they gave me the offer, because I was in on launch and I've been there 3 years, they gave me the offer of £20 a month to do it. It's a brilliant program, it's a brilliant platform, and it's very well worth the £20 a month. It's not for me, because the only things I use it for is to put things in my diary and for the appointment system, for the appointment reminders. I don't use it for anything else. Don't take online deposits. I don't take online payments. I don't do the bookings. I don't use it as a big marketing thing from there. So there wasn't a lot that I was using it for that I could use for my own business. So it's £5 a month. It was brilliant. But when it goes up to £20, £30, it's not worth it for me. But I highly, highly recommend it. We were talking yesterday about Treatwell, and I know salons have used it, and I've known salons that stopped using it. With Treatwell, they do promote your business. They do, I believe, I've never used it, but they do, like I said, market your business for you. But they do take a commission as well, I believe, on getting any bookings. So there's Treatwell. I've also known loads of therapists use Fresher. Again, I've never used it. I did have a little look at it, and I didn't touch no more about it. And again, that's a monthly subscription for using Fresher. I know there's a couple of people in here on Therapist on Business that use Fresher. So if you'd like to come on and say, you know, the pros and cons about it, why you use it, what you think it's good for, please do share. And I know that there's online, that there's free platforms. And for the life of me, I can't remember these platforms now. I'm just using the same old Apple iCal now. That's all I'm using. I used to use Outlook before I went onto my iPad and my iPhone. I used to use Outlook for my calendar. But I now use Apple, so it all syncs between all the devices and onto my Windows PC. I can keep all the appointments in through all there. But there are free online calendar systems. Now, I believe that you can still use them. People can book up, but there's no like clinic or salon settings with them. So I don't think there's any appointment reminders or anything on there. But again, I know of therapists that have used these in the past. I'm not sure. I don't even know whether I've got any listed on my website now. Excuse me. I'm just looking through what I've got there, and I'm just in to see if I've still got any of these calendar, whether I've still got any calendar online. Don't think I have. I'm looking through my tools, and I don't think I've got anything on there now. I don't think there's any. I'm sure some of you have used different online platforms. I don't think I've got any now. Just looking through all my tools that I use. There's so many. Yeah, I can't seem to find any that I've got there. No. Oh, Schedule is one, I think. I think that's one. Might be, no, might not be. That might be a booking. That might be like a booking. Schedule might be setting up and scheduling your posts. It might be. I can't remember. I haven't looked at it for a while. But again, think of the different platforms that are available. I mean, let me just see if there is free online. Simplybook.me there's Calendly, that's one I do know of, free online appointment. Simplybook, there's PickTime, you got Google Workspace and whatever you got, but there's lots if you actually go in. But I know I've heard of Calendly, that was one that I'd heard of, but there's many more online booking platforms that you can use. They all have their pros, they all have their cons, whether it comes down to the price, whether it comes down to whether they're free and what they provide when they're free. But do I think online booking platforms are good? Yes, I do. I think they're good even if you don't have it as a link online for people to book in. I think the things that are available with them are well worth it. It might be to a point that I might do a few months or 12 months down the line and might go, actually I want to get Slick back on because I liked having that there. I do miss it already. I can do my own appointment calendars. That's fine. Don't have any issues with that. I didn't use anything else. But if I start to look at that, if I really find in the next 12 months or even less in 6 months that I'm missing it, I will go back to Slick, because I did really like that booking platform. It was really good because, again, it was coloured areas on your calendar that you could set for different businesses or different treatments. You could go in and you could edit the prices, add treatments, take treatments away. There was so much that you could do with it and allow the different things, and I'm sure many other booking platforms do that as well. So do let me know, what booking platform do you use, if you use one, or are you like me, what I've used for years? Oh gosh, yes, here we go. I used for years Book Paper Diary. I used for years with that. Then I started getting into gadgets and started getting into tech, and I used, oh my goodness, I've forgotten what it was called now. A digital. It was one of the first things that came out before they came out on the phone. Oh god, and I loved it. I had mine for years. And then it went on the phone then, and that's when I went to the phone, and I used my BlackBerry phone for doing it all on there. Oh god, I can't remember it, but it was a little digital calendar that I could just put in, nice and small, little notebook size, like that. It was lovely. If I remember the name, I'll put it in there, because it might bring back some memories for some of you. But I had one of them, so I used to put all my appointments in there. And then the phone came out, and I would put it all on the phone, and again looking into Access, into Outlook, and I was doing it all on Outlook, and now I've gone on to iPad and Apple, and I run it all from there. So what do you use? What do you recommend? What do you think of booking platforms? You might not like them, and I'd love to know why you don't, if you don't like them. There's no right and there's no wrong. We've all got our choice and we've all got our reasons. But there also might be therapists out here in this group that are thinking of getting a booking platform, or thinking of changing their booking platform. So they're needing some ideas. So if you've got some thoughts of this or some suggestions, please do share below. But thank you for watching today. That's Tune In Tuesday with Ali, and today we've been talking all about online booking platforms. Have a great week. Bye for now. Catch up with you next week.